What's going on, guys? John Elder here from Codemy.com, and in this video, we're going to set up a custom domain name for our dental website using Python and Django. Alright guys, like I said, in this video, we're going to set up a custom domain name for our new dental website. But before we get started, if you like this video and want to see more like it, be sure to smash the like button below, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm, which really helps out the channel, and check out Codemy.com where I have over 40 courses with hundreds of videos that teach you to code. Use coupon code YouTube1 to get $30 off membership. That's all my courses, videos, and books for a one-time fee at just $49, which is insanely cheap. Okay, so we've got our website, we've pushed it to Heroku, we renamed the URL to docj.herokuapp.com, and maybe that's fine while you're trying to sell this thing to the dentist. You could show it to him with his name, Doc Smith, whatever his name is, or, just using this little Heroku app. But he's not going to want docj.herokuapp.com or whatever as his domain name. He's going to want his own domain name or her own domain name. So, drsmithdmd.com or whatever. So how do we set that up with Heroku? How do we get a domain name at all? And what's the process for that? Well, to buy a domain name, you get it from something called a registrar. It's kind of a weird word, registrar. And there are a bunch of registrars out there. You probably may have heard of GoDaddy. If you've seen commercials, they used to have commercials for GoDaddy all the time. Namecheap is one. Google has their own registrar, Google Domains. Network Solutions is an old one. There's just hundreds and hundreds of these things out there. And basically, what you do is you buy a domain name from them, but really you're just kind of renting it for a year. You can rent them or buy them, however you want to call it, for as many years as you want. I always just buy them for a year at a time, and then every year I renew. So do you own it? Yeah, sort of, but you're paying yearly every year for it. So to me, it's more like a rental, but you can sell the domain, so you kind of own it. Anyway, it's a weird thing, but basically it's yearly. And domain names usually cost around $10 a year for .com domains. Other endings, .net, .org, .co, .whatever, those cost different amounts of money, but your dentist is going to want a .com, and they're usually around $10. Now, I use a company called Namecheap, and my domains are usually $7 to $10 with them. Sometimes there's a sale and they're a little cheaper. I bought one specifically to show you guys how to set this up for this video, and it costs like $7.60 or something with tax and everything, ICANN fees. It came to like $8.02 or something. So that's pretty good. GoDaddy is a little bit cheaper, and they run sales all the time. So, you might get it for $1 or $2 cheaper at GoDaddy. Sometimes they run crazy sales where you can get domain names for $1, right? So, for me, I don't like GoDaddy. I've used them in the past, and I've had a lot of trouble with them. And I know a lot of other people that have had trouble with them too. All kinds of crazy things. Like I've tried to transfer domains to other registrars. I've sold companies, I've sold websites to other people and tried to register or tried to move my domain out of GoDaddy and had trouble doing it. They do weird things like flash up a bunch of extras, and if you accidentally click one during the sign out process, suddenly they've sold you a website package for $40 a month. They're just not a company I like to deal with, even though they may be a couple dollars cheaper. But if you don't care about that and you just want a super cheap, search Google for GoDaddy sales, and you could probably find a cheaper domain name using them. For me, the $7 or $8 I'm going to spend at Namecheap, that's cheap enough for me. I mean, that's fine. That company is rock solid. I've been using them for a very long time. The interface of their website is very easy to use. The back-end system where it holds all your domain names is very easy to use, and I just highly recommend them. So, okay, so you buy a domain name. It's going to be hard to find one. All the good ones are taken, but you keep hunting around, keep trying different things. Maybe you spell out the word doctor instead of DR. Maybe you use doc instead of doctor, whatever. You find the domain name that the dentist wants. How do we set this up with Heroku and with our app that we just pushed up to Heroku in the last video? If you didn't see that video, check the playlist in the comment section below this video. And I think there's a link to the playlist. You can go back and watch that. So, okay, so this is a two-step process to set up a domain name. One, we have to make a change on Heroku. And then two, we have to make a change on our registrar. In our case, I'm using Namecheap. So let's do Heroku first. So let's head over to Heroku, Heroku.com. We're probably still logged into our account. And when you log in, you'll see a list of all your apps. Now, you probably only have one app, but I have 3 pages of apps. So just go find your app. If it's the only one listed, go ahead and click on it. Remember, ours was docj, so I can click on that. If you didn't rename your app, it'll be like floundering swallow 8976.heroku.app.com. It'll be listed as that there. So click on it, go to settings right up here, and then just scroll down till you see add domain. All right, so you can see here's our app. So just type in www.yourdomainname, and I'm going to use Elder Test Site, just a generic domain that I purchased to show you guys how to do this. So then click next, and then when you do, boom, you're done, right? That's all there is to it on Heroku. Super simple, could not be easier. Next, head over to your registrar and log in. Now, I'm using Namecheap. I suggest you use them as well, but if you use a different registrar, these steps are going to be different, right? I don't know how each of the thousands of registrars handle this, and I couldn't possibly tell you. So you're just going to have to Google something like, for instance, if you're using GoDaddy, Google something like GoDaddy Heroku domain, and you'll get a tutorial that shows you exactly how to do it. Now, I'm going to show you how to do it on Namecheap, and the concepts are going to be the same no matter what registrar you use, but the actual setup of their back ends are going to be different. So we'll figure it out. So, all right, find your domain name. Here's the one listed, and then click on Manage, right? And then come over to Advanced DNS. Now, I don't know if your particular registrar has an Advanced DNS tab, but they probably do, and click on it, or an Advanced tab, or a DNS tab, or something like that, and click on it. And what we want to do is add a CNAME. Now, I've already got one because I was messing around with this for something else, so I'll delete this one. So this is what you're going to see, something like this. And what you want to do is click on Add a New Record. And this is going to be a CNAME, so scroll down till you find CNAME. All right, there it is. And then the host is going to be www. And then the value is just going to be whatever your URL is for Heroku, right? So ours is docj.herokuapp.com. If you didn't rename yours, it might be, floundering swallows 56789 at herokuapp.com. Whatever that is, copy just this part of it, right? Don't copy the HTTPS part, just this stuff right there. And then you just want to paste that in. And then you want to put a period after it. And that's going to be the case no matter what your registrar is. For some reason, the convention is to put periods after these things. I've never been able to figure out why. And then for TTL, that stands for time to live. That means how fast do we want the global domain name servers to update. We want to put this as low as possible, 1 minute, just because I want this change to take place right away. If you don't care, you could just leave it as it is. All right, so now we can click save to save this change, and boom, we're done. That's it. That's all we have to do. Now, we have to wait because, like I said, this is dealing with something called global domain name servers. So all over the world, there are domain name servers, right? So every time you go to a website, your web browser is connecting to one of those name servers, and it's finding that domain, and the name server is telling it the IP address for that website. So our website is eldertestsite.com, but in reality, the domain, the IP address is the important thing. So our IP might be 192.168.47.6.4, whatever. The name servers know that, and they can convert your domain name into the IP address, send it back to the web browser, and boom, you get the website. So basically what I'm saying is those servers around the world have to update before this change can take effect. And it can take an hour, it can take a half an hour, it can take up to 12 hours. They tell you whenever you make a change like this, like we just did, that you can expect to wait up to 12 hours for all these to take effect. It's never taken 12 hours, but that's what they say, right? So there are some ways we can speed this along for ourselves because our web browser will connect to a local name server or the closest name server in our area and use the cached version that's there. Well, we can tell our computer to flush that cache and reconnect and find the latest domain names, right? So to do that, we can head over to our Windows Start menu, and this is off camera and you can't see it, but I'm just going to type in CMD. That's C as in cat, M as in medical, and D as in dentist. And that will just pull up the command prompt. This is the Windows command prompt. And we could just go ipconfig /flush. There we go, flush DNS. So we want to flush our DNS cache. We could say, okay, it's resolved. So now we exit out of here and we go back to our eldertestsite.com. That's all it took. In just a couple of minutes that I've been talking, the name servers have updated, and here we see our website. It is now live, eldertestsite.com, and that's it. That's all there is to it. Now, you'll notice right here, this little guy right here, this is saying that our website is not secure because we are at http://www.eldertestsite.com. We are not at HTTPS. And these days, everybody wants HTTPS, right? For the secure hypertext transfer protocol, right? By default, this Heroku thing isn't set up for that, right? And in order to do that, you have to configure your SSL, but you have to actually be upgraded to a paid dyno in order to do that. And we haven't done that. So I'm not going to show you how to do that in this video because then we'd have to pay. And, you know, chances are you won't have to do that until you actually sell this to a dentist, and then you can do it. I'll show you how to go forward if that happens. Or, you know, this is a tech geek type thing, right? Chances are he won't even notice this and he doesn't even care, right? Because he doesn't care, or she doesn't care if his website is secure. Nobody's sending their credit cards over this website, right? So who cares? But if your dentist wants HTTPS, right, you could just go to Google and type in HTTPS on Heroku. And then here we get this article, Understanding SSL on Heroku. SSL stands for Secure Socket Layer. And you can click on this and you'll see that there are 3 ways to do SSL on Heroku. You probably just want this first one, automated certificate management. In order to use SSL to have HTTPS for your website, you need a SSL certificate. Usually you have to buy them. You can find them cheap or free some places, but they're like $10 or something, so you just buy one. And if that's the case, or I don't think you have to use one if you use the automated certificate management at Heroku. So like I said, you're probably going to use this. Just click on this automated certificate management page. It has a setup guide. It tells you exactly what to put in your terminal. You just punch in these commands, go through all this stuff, and boom, it's done. So I'm not going to show you how to do that. You could just, if you need it, you could just come to this website. It's devcenter.heroku.com/articles/automated certificate management with hyphens in between each of those words. So automated -certificate-management, and you'll be good to go. So that's pretty much it, right? We've got our website. We've built it up. It looks pretty darn good, if I do say so myself, right? You've got about page, we've got our service page, a pricing page, we've got a contact page, right? We've got our home page that has the appointment thing down here at the bottom. Very, very cool. So I hope you enjoyed this little mini course here on YouTube, and I hope you got a lot out of it. It was a lot of fun to do. I think we're going to try and do more things like this here on the channel in the future. So if you did like this, be sure to smash the like button below, give me a thumbs up, and click the little bell at the top of YouTube on my channel, and that'll notify you every time I add new videos. So that's really cool. And of course, subscribe to the channel. It's super cool. If you really like this, I've got over 40 courses on my own website, codemy.com. Let's take a look at that real quick. I don't want to turn this into an infomercial, but this is an awesome website. This has all my courses, and I'm always adding new courses. Every couple of weeks, I try to add another course. And as a member of this website, you get those courses for free if you sign up as a total member. So very, very cool. I've also written, a bunch of books. Let's just see here. I'll go to the dashboard. Several Amazon #1 best-selling coding books in Ruby on Rails, PHP. I think there's Python in there. So you just go down to the Codemy book library and you get the PDFs of all of my books. So you can see Ruby on Rails for web development, Intro to Ruby programming. This book is used in several colleges as the textbook for the college. So it's a good book. You get it for free, a college level textbook for free when you join my Codemy website. I wrote obviously all of these books. Django terminal commands ebook, PHP website, some other cool things. So like I said, you get all of those for free when you sign up. If you want to sign up, you can do one of 2 ways. You can get individual courses. They're $30 each, $29. Or for $79, you can get all of my courses. Like I said, that's over 40 courses right now. 41, I think, maybe about to be 42, something like that. You get all of them for free. You get all my future courses for free. You get access to me and other students. You can ask questions. If you don't understand some video, right underneath the video, you can just type a question and boom, I'll answer it just right there. So very cool. Like I said, 79 bucks is a pretty good price, but of course you've been watching me on YouTube, so you know you can click on this coupon code thing and type in YouTube1. And when you do that, boom, you knock another $30 off. You pay just 49 bucks for all of my courses. That is insane. Let's just pull up a calculator. So let's go, there are, let's say 41 courses and let's say $29 each. That would be $1,189 if you bought them all individually, right? That's crazy. Even if you got them somehow for a coupon code, let's go $41 times 9 bucks. That's still almost $400. You're getting them all for $49 and you get my future courses too. It's just a super, super good deal. And I would definitely check that out. If you want to know what the courses are, you can just come to the homepage and click on any of them. We got a bunch of Django ones. This is a to-do list app where we create a daily to-do list. So like, take out the garbage, feed the dog, go get groceries. As you complete those tasks throughout the day, you can check it and they, cross off the lists. It's a cool little app. Teaches us all about databases with Django and Python. Very cool. Cryptocurrency stuff with Django. User authentication with Django. So if you want people to be able to log into your website as a member, I'll teach you how to do that in this course. Let's see, what else? All kinds of cool stuff. Database stuff, MySQL, Postgres, Bootstrap, and HTML. We got Node, JavaScript, lots of Ruby on Rails, PHP, all kinds of cool stuff. So definitely check this out. Use coupon code YouTube1 to get the discount. And hope we see you inside. It's a cool website. We have fun in there. We're always chatting and talking about code. And if you have problems with your code, I'll help you out with it in the members area. Just very cool. It's an awesome website. So check it out. If you like this series that you just watched, all of my stuff in here is pretty much the same. It's just me on camera, blabbering on about things and teaching code. So it's cool. So that's all for this video. If you liked it, be sure to smash the like button below, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm, which really, really helps and I really appreciate. And check out codemy.com where you can use coupon code YouTube1 to get $30 off membership. So you pay just $49 to access all my courses, hundreds of videos, and the PDFs of all my best-selling coding books. Join over 80,000 students learning to code just like you. My name is John Elder from codemy.com, and we'll see you in the next video.